The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host, as once more we go into the breach, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
We're off 9 points on the S&P cash at 28.69. Support is about 28.60 to 28.65 on this first move down. So we could have some maybe ABC action or maybe even just some sideways action into next week on the 12th, which happens to be a day this month on the calendar. I guess it's next Wednesday. Apple is going to roll out its next iPhone. I'm going to talk to Tom O'Brien about that. What it would take to get somebody really excited about iPhones now, if there's really anything to get anybody excited about. A few other things that are fairly interesting. I'm going to talk about some broad strokes today. In the meantime, the market, which is in progress over most of TFNN, is done what it's done kind of the last few days, which is you kind of sell off early, kind of get people trying to push the thing up to about lunch. Then it starts to fade yet again into the close. And by the end of the day, you got a few more sellers. Low of the day was 28.64, I think, and 12 cents on the cash, S&P cash. And we're probably going to at least go back and test that. Question is just how bad does it get by the end of the day? How many people want to be hanging on? I suspect that that some of the problem is just is that Apple's having this big whiz bang, and as far as everybody can tell, there's not that much going on, and that's kind of, I think, starting to worry some of the people that are in Apple at some of the nosebleed levels. Not sure, but if it does whiff on next Wednesday, I think Apple could get back down to like 205 or so. And that just may be on 3 to 6 months of them having literally nothing to really yell and scream about. Now, they'll have some new things and they'll show some new software. But the question is, it's a BB King thing, and that is the thrill gone? Is the thrill now gone? Anyway, can't say anything more about it than that. So I think that's at least one thing we're looking at. A little bit of discussion about trade talk today, but I don't think there's a lot new in that. Just the market was going to go down, I think, anyway. And of course, this one's kind of a hard one to tell. There's not a real good, clear low that I'm picking out right now. Options have been decidedly negative for the last 7 or 8 trading days. Nothing's really moved, which tells me that option market makers think that there is some fairly decent lows that are possible, maybe back down to 2,800 on the S&P cash, maybe more. But at this point, I'm going to say that's probably what we're looking at. If Wednesday comes and there just isn't much there for Apple, Apple by itself could do a fairly decent job of taking that last 50 points out of the S&P cash by itself. Question is there systemic risk of other stocks being sold to take care of Apple? The avalanche theory. Some people call it the cockroach theory. You see people worry about the Apple doing poorly, and then they start going after other And then, of course, there's a lot of stocks that have already started to, I'm going to say spend the summer starting to sell off. So we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, going to have a lot of time. Make sure and give me a call today at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com and post a message in the den. So what else were we doing here? I think that's about it on the High Life. Let's do a little history, and then we'll get into a few other things going on in the markets. But it's time for a little history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating, but on this day in 1813, it started. That is, the United States gets its nickname, Uncle Sam. The name is linked to Samuel Wilson, a meat packer from Troy, New York, who supplied barrels of beef to the United States Army during the War of 1812. Wilson, 1766 through 1854, stamped the barrels with U.S. or the United States, but U.S. soldiers began referring to the grub as Uncle Sam's, for an abbreviation. The local newspaper picked up the story, and Uncle Sam eventually gained widespread acceptance as the nickname for the U.S. federal government. That's how it happened on that date. What else is going on out here? Well, I want to get my charts up and going, and we'll get into it. But first, all I got to say is I'm going to make a wild prediction today. That prediction is that the jokes about Tesla are going to be far better than the jokes about a car that starred in Back to the Future. The DeLorean, there were some great jokes about it. The one I always remember the best was why can't a DeLorean do anything other than go down the center of the road? That's because it follows the white line. If you don't remember that, DeLorean was our company that found its end when the owner, or the the owner of the company, tried to sell drugs to keep the car business in business. But you never know about that. But of course, we got another guy kind of acting a little wacky. And here's a little ode to Mr. Musk.
These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain. Innocently they dance. Innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell. In this film, you will see the ease with which this vicious plant can be grown in your neighbor's yard, rolled into harmless-looking cigarettes, hidden in an innocent shoe or watch case.
Oh, what a great movie. Reefer Madness. And if most people would say it's a movie from the 50s, it was one of the most, I'm going to say it was 20 years before its time. The rest of the exploitation movies really came out of those early or late 50s. But it was a exploitation movie of the 30s. Most people don't know that movie came out in 36. Anyway, we'll come back in a minute. All best Tesla joke and why car beats a trailless.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Thinkorswim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we're back. Anyway, looking at Tesla. Oh, yeah, somebody emailed in that John DeLorean was the guy behind the Pontiac GTO and a lot of the other muscle cars. Kind of the Ford version, or the Pontiac version of the Ford dude in the 60s. So he didn't come without a little bit of cachet. But interesting. Most people don't know that some of the bigger investors in the company, Johnny Carson, what's the guy that sang the Candyman, the original one? I'm trying to remember his name. The Candyman. Someone will tell me in there. I'll remember it. One of the Rat Pack guys. Yeah. Sammy Davis Jr., yeah. That was him too. Yeah. It's not. Something's broke. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. I'm looking at some things out here. Anyway, looking at Tesla, as I said, for the last year and a half, this is a $40 company. It had no business being at near $400. It has no business being at $260. The problem is that this thing is, what, 40% short? And, you know, you can get, this thing could rally to $300 tomorrow. It probably is not now. I have a feeling that we're probably fairly close to figuring out that the back is broken on this. But that is one of the problems, and that is when everybody knows that there's a big con job going on. It's tough to make money when everybody knows what's going on in the market. Of course, we had a couple more executives bail this morning, one from Human Resources. I don't think that they want to have to explain why they fired people for using drugs on the job. when their CEO is running around with Joe Rogan, who is a massive pothead. And of course, the other one was the CFO, who doesn't want to be anywhere close to the books. We have always known that since they bought Solar City, that this thing had a huge nuclear weapon that could go off at any time. I don't know if that's close to happening now. It will happen. We'll find out just how bad Solar City, the acquisition, was for Tesla. But you pretty much, if he let that thing blow up, then it was going to cost a lot bigger problems for Tesla. Now, here's where it gets incredibly bad for these guys, and that is over the next year, year and a half, they have a bunch of warrants that are due. And these combination warrants and shares can cost them $5 or $10 billion just by themselves, anywhere below $330 for the price of Tesla itself. And that is going to be the long-term problem. The lower the stock price goes, this doesn't hurt the stockholders. It will hurt the company in the fact that they have a lot more money that they're going to have to put back in. Yeah, you never know. But that was the big fraud of the, the fraud from 2010 to 14? Renewable energies, ventures that never made any economic sense. You could always buy the electricity for 1/4. You can still do that. And that is, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Let's go ahead and start looking at some stocks. I want to get into this, get back and see it. Okay. I got something here that I wanted to look at. Okay, on earnings today, PANW. Palo Alto Networks, the kind of security company, did get higher. Right now, it's still up $8. Went through the previous high, did so with volume, but was not able to hold it. That's been a little bit of help to the whole cybersecurity software today. At least it hasn't been a drag on that particular sector. But there's just not that much going on. The big winner today out here, of course, is Five. We've talked about this company a few times, and this is kind of like a dollar store, except everything's $5. And I probably would have gotten in it a long time ago if I would have gone in there and been able to buy anything myself. I didn't short it, didn't think it was going down, but I just couldn't find any of their junk in there that I wanted. In a dollar store, yeah, I can go in there and find some stuff for $1. I don't feel too bad about it being horrible crap. But going into Five Below, yeah, I think I bought a wacky noodle there for the pool. I think that was it. Wasn't anything else in there. Stores seem rather vacant compared to the other, like the dollar stores. I mean, they've got a lot of extra room. They're not crowded like the typical dollar store, so you don't feel kind of claustrophobic in them. The stuff is actually well presented. It doesn't have that kind of dingy 1990s fluorescent, where the acoustical tile is all turned yellow from the ultraviolet rays of the UV lights kind of thing. They kind of be clean. So maybe that's it. Maybe this gives the old Kmart creeps to people going into the dollar store. So they're willing to go over next door to the $5 store. I'm told that go to the Five stores just after school and weekends. They are jammed with kids whining to parents. Well, that's probably true. But, what else can you say? What else do we have going on out here? Restoration Hardware, I didn't talk about it. I think I posted this failing off the top fairly significantly. It's back into what should be fairly decent support, at least for a while in this. There is the unpardonable sin in theology. That is the sin so evil that the Pope can't give you a free ride on it. The unpardonable sin in the stock market is during your earnings call to say, you know what, we're not gonna really say that revenues and earnings are going to track in the near future. We're going to prioritize earnings. And of course, when revenues start going down, that is the first clue that maybe a company has hit its high. This came off of 162.10 early in that morning of earnings. When that came out, it took a visual turn lower, and we're right back into the support area, which is about that 125 level now. We'll talk more about this when we come back.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And what do we have going on? And that is that Korn Ferry is the big loser of the day, down to 48.48. This blew away everything. This is kind of a headhunting staffing company for executives. And I haven't had a chance to get in and find out what's going on. But maybe the good market just means that these guys aren't necessary or as necessary anymore. Maybe they said something else. But man, this one got blown away down to 48.48. Support is going to come back in, although it may take a little while to get around the $43 to $45 area with this thing. Actually will have fairly decent support. But, picked a bad time to actually not deliver the goods. And a few of these companies are getting punished in that way. Other losers of the day, costs down fairly strongly. This is a $3 stock now. 276 is the low of the day. This one's back to support. Not a very high volume stock, so can't spend a lot of time on that. Wanted to get to some other stocks that I brought up when we were going through as many as we could on Tuesday and Wednesday because they were giving fairly decent signals. And Zumiez was one of these companies. We talked about how this had a spike of 4.4 million shares back on June 8th, $31.55 for that high. He got into it on the 4th with 661,000 shares. Pretty much nice reversal. Looks like that's headed to 26 bucks. Some of the other ones out here that look problematic and continue to look problematic are Applied Materials. When we look through this over time, it looks like Applied Materials certainly has that $38 gap going back to the 19th of April in 2017. So what, about 17, 18 months? This had a nice gap of 13.4 million shares. So you can look for some kind of low to come back in there. Volume's not all that bad. You did gap down with some energy, 52 million shares back on the 17th of August. It's continued to deteriorate, and we're going to talk to Tom O'Brien in the next, at the bottom of the next hour, about why that is. I kind of talked about it a bit, but we're going to expand on it, and that is the problem with spending money on new equipment and whether or not you're going to get the payoff or not. But certainly, it doesn't look like this thing has changed, other than you've got a kind of a low volume day so far. So you may get some more time, but you are so close to that gap and that shoulder right before it that my guess is that 37 bucks is where you need to see this thing probably go out there for a while and go sideways. The SMHs had a little bit of a bounce this morning. That's kind of looking a little bit peaked now. I had a lot of people try to smash into these. It's not heavy, but I've got to say that at best, the SMHs look like they're at a big trading range that runs from about 100 bucks up to 110. And of course, a lot of these other ones look like the same thing. When we look at like the IBB, it certainly looks like you could be in this trading range right now back to about 112, 113 in that particular ETF. And, oh, what did I want to get to today? Yeah, boy, I have a hard time remembering anything anymore. But I will remember this because I wrote it down. I just got to load it, find it, because I talked about it yesterday. There it is, the XLP. Wanted to really see how and what if everybody's still kind of going back in to the consumer select staples. This did try to sell off earlier in the morning. It's just got the opposite. It looks like that there is some support over the last 2 days at about the what are we going to call this? $54.35 area on the XLP. If we start seeing more money on Monday come into this and back to the highs of August 20th. That's also telling us we may have found some kind of highs in this. Qualcomm, please describe the conceptual EPS story into 2019 on how Qualcomm can be bid up in over 80, the high of 2014. Qualcomm story, I won't get into the minute details of EPS. I'm going to just tell you that they own 130,000 patents in that smartphone cellular area. They've got the best patents. Their commission structure for those patents is about 4 times what everybody else has, like Nokia. I mean, literally the Nokia, I think maybe $1 or $2 out of a phone might be a Nokia. But you can get what about 4 or 5% out of the first $450 of the phone price with Qualcomm, and then it tapers off. It's quite complex. But the root of the matter is that expensive phones make Qualcomm a ton of money in licensing, plus the new products that they're putting in it. So whether they sell a new chip or someone sells another phone, they're going to get their wad of cash. So don't think it matters much. And again, as everybody moves to 5G, everybody will be buying new phones. I think that is just the thesis that you need to look at long term, and that is used to have them in computers, and that was upgrade cycles. Microsoft would come out with a new version of Windows, and your old computer just wasn't fast enough to run it, or the power supply had blown up, or you couldn't expand it with more memory. There were a lot of reasons. So 2-3 years, there'd be a big run every time Windows had another big upgrade cycle or DOS. And, you know, the cycles in cellular are much longer because they run from about 15 to 20 years. If you look at 1G to 2G to 3G to 4G, and now to 5G, you know, this next run will probably take 20 years to finish. So we're basically in the first inning of this business, and there'll be ups and downs in that cycle. But you know what? Next year is probably going to be a banner year for cell phones. I don't, you know, especially halfway through the year. I think that's the best way to describe it. We'll be back after this. Give me a call, 877-927-6638. Email me at pat@tfn.com. Put a message in the den.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at tfnn.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of tfnn.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to tfnn.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's tfnn.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we have a question from Rich. Wants to look at Aurora Cannabis. And I don't know, it just looks to me like this thing tried to blow out the bottom. It couldn't. It's kind of coming back up. Could bounce around up to $8. You know, you had a lot of energy on the way back up. My problem with most of these companies that are in this field is I suspect that they're like a lot of these other companies. I don't know about this one specifically. I would just suggest that I think a lot of people that are in these companies don't spend a lot of time looking at the books. And for me, I don't think this is, I don't think there's that big of profit in growing the stuff. For me, I'd much rather be in the people that are making light emitting diodes to put sun on these. I'd much rather be in Scott's Miracle Grow. If you're looking for stocks that are going to make money long term, those would be the ones that have decent books and you can figure out. I would, you know, there's one thing, and that goes back to the gold rush days, both California and Alaska, and that was you probably didn't make a lot of money getting into the gold rush. I think they called marijuana gold too. Don't know. Never smoked the stuff, never will. But you've got to look at, you know, the people that really made the money was Levi's, the people that sold the picks and shovels, the people that sold all the equipment to them. Yeah, did a handful of people actually make some money? Yeah, but the Comstocks, there were a handful of those guys. But there were probably 50 or 100 millionaires made, though, out of people supplying all the stuff to them. And that's normally when I see something like this that's iffy, and a lot of companies that are somewhat dubious on that. Let's see if I've got anything here on the financials of this company. Well, certainly doesn't look like much. Loses money. Non-recurring events. Just smells a lot Bitcoin-y for me. So again, like I said, I'd look for companies that literally make things that are going to be around for a while. I know, the companies that are making accessories like bongs and vaporizers and a lot of that kind of stuff. Those would be the guys I think they're going to make the big money over time. People growing it, I have a feeling that a lot of people are just going to start growing again in the backyard. A lot of states actually allow you to have 10 plants. I think yourself. I think there's going to be a lot of people get into horticulture and gardening that wouldn't have normally in years past. Will these guys still do a good job? Man, could they make some money? Yeah. My guess is they're going to get taxed to death. They're going to get regulated to death. And I just don't know enough about this business. I stick to stocks that I think I know a lot more about. Maybe you know a lot more about this particular one and others in this vein. But they just smack me of a lot of pump and dumps in these from just looking at the financials for this. They don't make money. I don't know how you don't make money selling marijuana today. I always thought that was the big money pull-in. So again, I'd worry about that too. So maybe someone can tell me different. Give me a call at 877-927-6648. Scott's Miracle-Gro, probably the big winner over time in this company, and companies making LED lighting, watering, all the stuff that you have to grow it. I think that's probably the best long-term bet. Those things won't be taxed out of existence. They probably won't be regulated out of existence. And probably some good long-term bread in it. And you don't probably, I probably wouldn't go to bed worrying about the books of Scott's Miracle-Gro overnight. What else do we have going on here? I'm pretty sure that's not the answer that he wanted from me, but that's my opinion, one man's opinion. We're off about 4 points on the S&P cash. Trump's been speaking here for a while. Very positive on the long-term outlook of the United States. I am too. But we may have about 3-4 weeks getting into the first part of October. And I think politically things will sort themselves out. And we'll be a lot more interested in what happens then from the long side. I still think we have several weeks of lower prices. Someone asked me to take Boeing. And again, a lot of these stocks are setting up fairly large triangle patterns. In fact, let's just go ahead and move this over to this. And I will mark this up as we're talking. And we do that. Still have lower highs and higher lows in these, and a lot of other stocks in the Dow or the blue chips of these. One of the reasons I'm looking at Boeing so hard is this is a company that's going to have orders. Even if half the orders are canceled, they still have 5 years of orders. So always good to be in that kind of position in a company. And, if this one starts acting weak, when no matter what happens, they'll probably have 5 years of orders. I think they got 10 years right now. So if they get 5 years of orders, right, there's still 5 years for the market to turn around and everybody still go back and want planes in 7 years. So if this one starts acting weak, that tells you something a lot more about what's going on long term. And you don't really have a breakout of either the highs or the lows. So I'm not going to get too excited yet about any long-term damage to the market until we see something like that happens. Now, again, in these triangles, the most bearish thing that can happen is these break out and come right back into the trading range. That's generally a good signal. The most bullish thing can be for them to break down and re-enter the trading range. About 80% of the time, that's a good example of a head fake. It gets everybody going the wrong way, and then you get it. In fact, if you look at Tesla, that's kind of what it did. It went to the high side, blew out. I just can't short a stock that's 40% short. just too tough for me. I know other people might, but a little bit too much. I had some questions earlier and again about Snap. I don't see anything changing here in Snap. Right now, with the market for sale, any of these companies that are weak are just going to continue to be weak until we make some kind of washout lows. And I'm still looking at maybe 1 or 2 weeks before we see those washout lows come in most of the sectors. And yeah, could it bounce around here and go sideways for a while? That would be the best thing for you. But nothing yet. We'll be back in a minute.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're going to look at a few other stocks here just before we close out the day. I wanted to take a look at PayPal. Bring it up. As we said, a lot of these stocks earlier in the week, we started talking about or bringing them up. PayPal, you had some fairly good indications. I don't like to go short stocks in the 90s, which this one was. Kind of set up is very close to Microsoft's. So I'd be kind of looking at this one. The big difference is the huge lack of volume from July 31st up to this 93.44 high of September 4th. But that high came in with 8 million shares compared to the 12 million shares of the July 25th high, and that total lack of energy from July 31st up to this high, along with the test of the previous high on lighter volume, is what I call congruent. So that is a stock that is telling you both in the manner that it got there and the test of the day that it got there as it hit a previous price, that there just wasn't a lot of energy for people to come back in. That sets up a bigger kind of trading range. This is not too far, about 86, 85 bucks. If volume kind of peters out here, might be fairly interesting for a run. Maybe there's more to it than I know, but this light energy, light test at the top means there's going to be at least some protracted consolidation at the lower levels. And maybe it takes the elections or maybe just the rest of the month for this thing and some of these others to come out and kind of go sideways for a little while, consolidate, and then get ready for the run for some kind of fall rally, which I think we're probably going to have. I'm not too bearish, other than the fact that I think we're going to get a lot of people bearish, and then the market will kind of turn around and fall and go higher. Catch me at the bottom of the hour with Tom O'Brien. Talk more about tech. And in the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. See you here Monday. Same bat channel, same bat.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.